My final project on the movie Nowhere in Africa. So, this background image is just a clip from the movie, and it was a very significant clip, and I chose this picture because as you'll read more into my Wacklet, you will see that these are the two main characters, and they're married in the movie, but they actually have a lot of marriage issues due to the storyline. So, Nowhere in Africa is Caroline Link's film based off of Stephanie Zweig's autobiography, and it tells the story of a family that migrated to Africa fleeing Nazi rule from Frankfurt, Germany. It follows Walter, Jettel, and their 5-year-old daughter to the end of the Holocaust. So, actually, Walter was a lawyer in Germany, and then he actually left Germany before the other family members did, because he knew that the Holocaust, he didn't know the Holocaust was going to get bad, but he knew that Nazi rule was getting worse. And then he wrote a letter to his family asking them to join him in Africa, and the whole entire storyline is them getting used to life in Africa, and each trial and tribulation that had to do with that. So, since this is based off an autobiography, most of what happened in the movie was actually true following this lady Stephanie's life. Right here is a video of someone made a tribute to her, and it tells a lot of facts about her life. And if you watch this movie and then watch this video, you would see a lot of parallels, and a lot of the stuff in the movie did actually happen in real life. So, right here is just some backstory about the film. The film was in German, so I had to watch it reading the subtitles, and I thought that was really significant to the cinematic part of the movie, because I had to really pay attention to the characters' body language and nonverbal cues to understand the story. And so the main factor about Nowhere in Africa that I thought was interesting was the fact that it told the story of the Holocaust from people who did not actually get put in concentration camps, etc. Although their family members did, and that affected them, you saw how the Holocaust affected people who were Jewish that weren't actually in Germany at the time. And it was still very hard for them. I wouldn't say as hard as the people who were in concentration camps, because they lived and survived, but they still faced lots of trials and tribulations, and had a lot of problems with the anti-Semitism. So this is a tweet I found of an actual picture of the real family in Africa, and I thought that I really wanted to include this because since this was based off of a real story, I mean, it just shows you, if you did watch the movie, it's so similar in this picture and then how it's depicted in the movie, and I thought that was really cool. So right here I'm just talking about how although the Redelics experienced a lot of anti-Semitism and hate because of their religion, there were parts of the movie where Jettel, or the mother, was inherently racist to the people in Africa who were actually helping them and took them in as refugees. And so that just, I don't know, I thought that was really important to the storyline. Then right here is an article about the German refugees in different places that they migrated, and what I wanted to find out for myself is that I wasn't really ever aware or taught that the Jews were allowed to migrate out of Germany during the Holocaust. I figured that they would just have to stay, and that's what Hitler would have wanted, and he wanted the control of knowing where they were. But actually, the laws in Germany at this time encouraged Jews to leave, but they taxed them heavily, and you saw that in the film by Jettel only brought over $45 in the movie, and she spent it all on the nightgown, and Walter was very upset with her because that was all of the money they had. And then one of the prompts in our assignment was to asking us if we'd ever been displaced, and I compared it. I don't really feel like it's right to compare the coronavirus to the Holocaust, but I showed parallels in the fact that I'm not displaced, but I do feel like I'm living in a different life now than I was pre-pandemic, and I found this article of a timeline comparing how the coronavirus compares with a bunch of deadly events within the past 100 years. Although, if you click on this link and look at it, it does say that wars are not included, and I didn't specifically look at the death numbers, but I would assume that more were killed in the Holocaust than have died from the pandemic so far. Yes, and then how this movie compares today is that many Jews in Germany still face anti-Semitism, and you see in the film that Walter wants to go back to Germany after the Holocaust, and Jettel and Regina do not, because they fear that they will still be treated the same even though Hitler's not in rule anymore. And I found this tweet that says that German Jews were warned not to wear their headwear out in public for fear of violence and stuff, and so it just shows you how the film still relates today, and that anti-Semitism is still a problem that is being fought in Germany at this time.